Hi, this is Mike with ComFile Technology, and in this video I'm going to show how to set up a software development environment for the CUWIN in Windows 7. There's essentially three things we need to do. First, we need to install the CUWIN drivers in Windows Mobile Device Center. This will allow the CUWIN to be recognized by Windows, and using Windows Mobile Device Center, we'll be able to transfer files to and from the PC in the CUWIN. Next, we need to install Visual Studio 2008 Professional. This is the software integrated development environment that will be used to actually write programs for the CUWIN. And finally, we need to download and install the CUWIN software development kit. Using the software development kit, we'll be able to deploy programs to the CUWIN and debug them in Visual Studio. Now, looking at our setup, we have a Windows 7 Professional notebook on the right and a CUWIN 6300 on the left. Now, although I'll be using a CUWIN 6300, this same procedure can be used for any 5000 or 6000 series CUWIN. The notebook is connected to the USB device input on the back of the CUWIN via USB. And now we're ready for the first step, installing the CUWIN drivers in Windows Mobile Device Center. Now, to initiate the installation, reach to the back of the CUWIN and flip the red toggle switch to power it on. Now, Windows will detect that a new device has been connected to the PC and will begin installing the drivers. It will download the drivers automatically from Windows Update. And once they're finished downloading, it'll begin installing. And once the driver is installed, Windows Mobile Device Center will automatically start installing. Now, while Windows Mobile Device Center is installing, another driver installation will begin. Now, before this driver installation can finish, we have to finish installing Windows Mobile Device Center. So accept the license agreement, and then the driver will finish installing. And you'll see that Windows now recognizes the CUWIN. Now, using Windows Mobile Device Center, if you go to Connect without setting up your device, File Management, and browse the contents of your device, you can now browse the file system on the CUWIN, and you can use this window to transfer files to and from the CUWIN and the PC. With the CUWIN drivers in Windows Mobile Device Center installed, we can now begin installing Visual Studio 2008 Professional. For this demonstration, we're going to download the trial version from Microsoft's website. Now, this is a 3.3 gigabyte ISO file, so we'll need to burn it to a DVD disk in order to run the installation. Now, once you have a Visual Studio 2008 disk, insert it into your PC and the installation process will start. Click the Install Visual Studio 2008 link on the window that appears, and the setup process will begin. It takes a little while, so give it some time to start up. Click the Next button. Read and decide whether or not you agree to the license terms. And then choose the Custom option. Click Next. And be sure, under your language of choice, to choose the Smart Device Programmability option. I'm installing this option for both C# and Visual Basic, as I will be using both languages. Click the Install button and wait for it to finish. And once the installation is finished, click the Finish button. Now, with Visual Studio installed, we can now download and install the CUWIN software development kit. Go to our website under Support, Panel PC, and scroll down to the CUWIN Download section. Download the CUWIN 5000, 6000 series SDK. I'm going to save it to my desktop again. And once the file is downloaded, execute it. Choose Next. accept the license agreement, enter in some personal information, and we must choose Custom and remove the documentation feature. If we don't do this, it will not install correctly. Click Next and Install, and wait for the install to complete. And once the install is complete, click the Finish button. And that's it. We now have everything we need to develop software for the CUWIN. Be sure to visit us at www.comfiletech.com for more documentation and videos, and thanks for watching.